Hi again. So sometimes you have good days, we love them, but obviously we also have bad days. Now, not seriously bad days. We won't talk about that, but bad days when you've still got to write, when the words don't come, when it all just seems so dull and dreary, and why are you even doing this, and who is this woman, and why did you sign up for a course, and her accent gets on your nerves, and the colours are annoying, and that colour bar doesn't line up with the picture on the course, unless that's just me, but it does bug me, and I will get to it one day. But I've got to focus. And that's the key thing, right? That's what professional published writers do, is they focus on what needs to be done. And that is really the writing. Okay. So don't get distracted. Check your rescue kit that you've already made before. And here are all the things that we can try and do to get you writing when you really don't want to, when the words won't come. Okay. So first of all, having just given you that tough love speech, the first thing I'd recommend is taking a short break. Okay. There's no point in carrying on staring at a blinking cursor. It just makes you feel really bad. So it depends on your circumstances how long that break can be. If you can do anything you like, I'd still keep the break to 20 minutes max, ideally 5 minutes. But somewhere in between would be the sweet spot, and you need to go and do something different, and it has to be something really active. So I know it's a cliche for people to go, oh, go for a walk and get fresh air, but that's because it really works for most people. And for most people, it's something you can go and do quite quickly. Okay, it doesn't need planning, it doesn't need kit, but go outside. Okay, we need exercise, we need sunlight, we need nature, and writing and spending too long at a screen is just not good for you. So on my second message to you on this course is to make sure that you fit exercise into your writing schedule. Okay, it's crucial for being a human being. It's certainly crucial for writing. As a previous doctor and neuroscientist as well, all the research backs it up. Okay, so although we might like to think we can get out of the whole exercise thing as writers, we can't. So there's that. Then I've got some techniques that just sometimes achieving something can make you feel better, and that can unblock you, and that can be what makes the words flow. So if there is a short, easily defined job of something that has been really annoying you that you could do, go and do it if you can do it, and come back within 20 minutes. Okay. Something that's productive for most people who are on social media is to just stop following or block anybody who's getting you down. Because if you're doing research or checking onto social for things, or just you're procrastinating, that's why you're going there, then these are the accounts that can just ruin your vibe. Okay. That doesn't sound very academic, but they can really block your writing, and they'll get over it. Unfollow them. Number 3, write about what's bothering you. This is more profound than it seems. Okay, so there are lots of investigations into creativity and lots of theories that various writers and creatives have are based around the idea that writer's block or a creative block is a sign that something's bothering you, but you don't want to say it. Okay, so you know that there's a problem, but you don't want to admit it to yourself, which is maybe a bit deep, but that's the line behind this. Write out what's bothering you. Set a timer, 10 minutes, again, because we're not going to waste all our time. You've got to get back to the writing. And just write everything. No full stops, no sentences, no stopping to have a look. You can type it or you can write it out in your hand. And you really start completely freeform, okay? I hate Abby. This is a ridiculous course. I don't know why she's making me do it. It's a complete and utter waste of time, as is the article that's going to be written, because anyway, I'm never going to get it. And if I do, then what am I going to do about childcare or something? And then you'll realise that actually where you're getting stuck is that you're concerned about childcare. Okay, but you can't think like that before you do it. You have to approach the screen just blank and see what happens. Okay, sometimes nothing happens, but sometimes you'll really fall on something like, oh, I realise I'm stuck about getting the quote from the expert. Oh, okay, I'm just caught up in my own fears about, oh no, someone's going to read it and they won't like it. And that might be true, but who cares, right? Our brain can sometimes make it seem like it's much more serious than it is, okay? But people don't like us and they don't like our work all the time, and we don't even know about it, and, that's fine. Nobody has work that everybody likes. Okay, even some of the most successful people in the world, let's say, I don't know, who reached more people with their message than anybody else? Jesus? Prophet Muhammad? Does everybody like them or agree with them? No. Are we claiming that we're starting a religion? No. So we can get out of our own way and get out of what's bothering us and just do our best work, because somebody will like it. And it's your job to get it out there, because otherwise you're depriving that person of something that would be really meaningful for them. Okay, so this is a good way of uncovering some of the blocks that go behind writer's block. Number 3. Number 4, Google a quote. Now, this is a quick and easy thing to do, and it sounds a bit trite, and certainly in the blogging field, the idea of quotes has got a bit of a bad name because they do very well traffic-wise, and people sort of throw a lot of quotes together and call it an article, and some people look down on that. But the reality is that there is a great connection with great quotes from other people, okay? Again, I don't want to be all whimsical, but writing is this kind of form of telepathy. You are reaching through words, through language to somebody else, and you're conjuring up images, whole pictures, whole characters sometimes. You're making someone decide to buy something. You're helping them understand a problem when they're stuck. And that is reaching into kind of humanity. And so one of the best fuels to get that going is to reach into humanity the other way around. Okay, so other writers have got these brilliant ideas that they've got into a single quote, and you can access that, and it can inspire you, and it can inspire your piece. Okay, it doesn't just have to be about inspiration and writing. It could be a quote about making furniture. There's bound to be one out there, and you might read that, and then that's going to cheer you up, or that's going to think, oh, actually that's terrible, but that has reminded me of something else, and off you go, and your brain is unblocked, and away your synapses go, and fine. So that's a quick task that you can do on a bad day when you're blocked as well. Then number 5, blitz your life admin. Be careful with this. This links into the taking a break, okay, but it's a bit sneakier because it's taking a break such that your life ticks by nicely, so that when inspiration comes back, when the muse reappears, you're ready. Okay, you've got the time to listen. You've got the time to sit down and go, yes, words, come at me. I'm going to type, because I don't have to worry about the filing, the laundry, and paying the bills. Okay, so if you're having a really bad day, or there's a bad time of day, so for me, I know that the early afternoon, just after lunch, is just, I can sit and I can try and write, but it's all terrible and it's all slow. So I have made sure that that is the time that I try and do my work admin. You know, the stuff that doesn't really need you inspired. You just need to be awake and have a pulse and do it. So that's when I do that. So that's number 5 for you. Number 6, go out and go offline. This isn't the same as number 1, which is taking a break, because you're taking your computer with you. But a change of scene can, again, really free up your mind sometimes. Go offline, stop those interruptions, okay? Stop the endless Googling. Try cafes and libraries are tried and tested for this, particularly because you're often surrounded by other people with their laptops working as well. And that's something about, that's tapping into our need for social approval and social proof that can help focus the mind. Okay, who knew you were going to get this much neuroscience with a writing course? Play with the skeletons, number 7. Write out the skeleton of your piece. We're going to cover the structure of different types of writing next week, and then come back to it through the course. But if just the whole blank page can sometimes just seem so daunting, and the idea that you just sit down and start with the first word, the second, the third, and go through is really not how most published writers work. Normally they plan out the skeleton and fill in the little bits. So you get stuck on point 3, forget about it. Go on to point 4, get stuck, forget about it, carry on. You can always come back and do the other sections later. Secret between us. Number 8, talk to yourself. Okay. I don't actually sit and talk to myself, but if you're somewhere and no one can hear you, that's not a problem either. What I do is, when I'm struggling in Word, you can add text to the top of the page. So if this was your Word document, you double click up here and it will let you type something in. Typically that would be the name of the article and your email address and maybe the deadline, depending on the piece of work you're doing. But instead I use some of these phrases. Go little novelist go, or this is an amazing blog post. This isn't going to write itself, is it? And I find this helps as well with PowerPoint presentations. My template slide, you know, the one that's got your logo and your fonts and everything else like that, has also, this is an amazing presentation. And maybe it makes me sound really egotistical, but it's not for anybody else. It's for me, and it's to give me the confidence boost, and it works for me, and it just gets me, right, okay, It's not a blank page. It's not a blinking cursor. I've got some encouragement. It's all a bit silly. I don't need to take myself so seriously. Oh, look, I just spotted a typo. Another point for a bad day, always have a notepad next to you and write down what you need to fix. Don't stop what you're doing. Okay, so the broadcast is going to carry on. The typo will be dealt with later. So talk to yourself, try out these phrases. I've typed them down here. Find out what works for you. Don't take yourself too seriously. That's what happens when the writing really blocks as well. As you're kind of thinking about the end product too much and not just having a laugh, letting your ideas out. And even if you're writing something really sad or really dull or really technical, it comes out better when you're not tense and worried. And then a couple of tips just for bloggers, because I blog a lot. If you're really stuck and you're up against a deadline, compile a best of post. This works well for newspaper articles as well, and magazines. Your best, the best on the web, the best photos, the best, in putting together that draft, you might unstick yourself anyway. And secondly is invite questions from your audience, okay? But only do this if you actually get responses. So if you have social media accounts that are very chatty and people respond to you, then it's worth asking a question. If you don't even bother, okay? Why depress yourself on a bad day? So there we are. Those are the tips for what to do on the bad days to get the words to come. Let's see you on the next lesson. Cheers. Bye.